What's up, YouTube world? This is Jay, and it is Wednesday morning, so I am going to go over SmackDown for last night, the SmackDown after WrestleMania. And let me tell you, it was a good show. And some surprises, and we're going to get into them all. So, with that being said, I got my handy dandy notes. Let's look at it. First up, the New Day opens the show with Kofi's celebration. There was a huge rainbow blow up over the ring. There was pancakes on the turnbuckle posts. They were partying, and Big E and Kofi Big E and Xavier just basically said how much they loved Kofi, and he deserves this, and it was just really good, heartfelt moment. And Big E does another amazing split and holds it for like 15 seconds. And if you don't know who Big E is, that's impressive because he's like almost 300 pounds. The bar interrupts, of course. And they challenge them to a 6-man tag match and say they made a friend on Raw. And who was that friend? Drew McIntyre. So, yeah, it's going to be a 6-man tag match later with the New Day facing the Bar and Drew McIntyre. Next up, we have a 6-man tag match. Aleister Black, Ricochet, and Mustafa Ali, who they recently just shorted his name to Ali, which I kind of like the Mustafa part. Made him stand out. Versus Rusev, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Andrade. This was a good match, nice pacing, acrobatics as you would expect from Ricochet and Andrade. But in the end, Andrade, Ricochet, and Aleister Black, Ricochet, and Mustafa Ali win by Mustafa hitting the 450 splash. And then RKO out of nowhere to Mustafa Ali, and then a stunner by Kevin Owens to Rusev. I'm not gonna lie, man. Part of me doesn't like it when people do the stunner. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin's thing, and I'm a huge Stone Cold Steve Austin fanboy. So I don't know how I feel about that. But Kevin Owens does a good job of it, and Ember Moon also does it, but at least she does it off the top rope with the little corkscrew added. So it really makes it special. Carmella and R-Truth promo. I love Carmella and I love R-Truth. They're just entertaining people. And R-Truth says Carmella beat Andre the Giant in the Royal Rumble. And that's just not true. She won the females battle royal at WrestleMania. R-Truth was getting it confused with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal that the men have. That made me laugh, though. Samoa Joe comes out, destroys R-Truth, and then Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe brawl. Braun Strowman's on Raw, so he showed up on SmackDown out of nowhere. They brawl. Joe puts him in the coquina clutch. Braun breaks out of it, goes to hit Joe with his power slam, and for some reason he just couldn't get him up all the way. And I don't know if it was a timing issue or what, but it looked awkward. But Samoa Joe saved it by basically just pushing himself off of Braun as if to be like, oh, I'm getting out of this hold, So, yeah, that was pretty good, The Iconics come out and say they're going to be fighting champions, and they challenge the best team in all of Brooklyn, and they're 45-0, and it ends up being the Brooklyn Bells, and they beat them in a minute. The Iconics beat the Brooklyn Bells in about a minute. Shane McMahon then came out doing a promo talking about his match at WrestleMania and how he beat The Miz, and he was forcing the ring announcer to do the best in the world shtick that he's been having him do, but the ring announcer said he fears for his life because fans are giving him backlash, and he's afraid that if he does it, something will happen to him. Like, that's so good. You know what I mean? That's so funny. Because I could see it. I could see the WWE universe. That CM Punk's thing, man. You guys are ripping off CM Punk, man. Next time you say it, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Next up, but the announcer ended up doing the shtick. Best in the world. He had him do it like 4 times, threatened to fire him, and finally on the last try, he got it right. Next up, we have Usos versus the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys win and become new tag team champs. They became, I didn't see this happening. I really didn't. Usos hit the splash. Jeff Hardy kicked out. Usos were all shocked. Next thing you know, Matt Hardy hits the twist of fate. Jeff Hardy with the Swanton Bomb. 1, 2, 3, new SmackDown champions. It's crazy. Never know what to expect on the shows after WrestleMania. And then, who comes out? But Lars Sullivan comes out again to make his presence known. And he just destroys the Hardy Boys. Just absolutely has his way with them. Becky Lynch comes out and cuts a promo, brings up Lacey Evans from Raw, and then she had a really good line, and she said, I went through hell to get these belts. If you try to take them, you're going to meet a red-headed devil. And she leaves the ring. Becky turns to the crowd, holds the belts up in the air. She turns back around. Lacey Evans hits her with that woman's right to the face. And Becky Lynch basically just fell like damn near the whole way down the entrance ramp. And she sold that woman's right really, really well. And yay, Lacey! I'm a fan of Lacey Evans. Sami Zayn comes out, crowd sings a song, and he just stands there, and then he just says, yeah, you're not worth it, and just drops the mic and goes back. Which I thought that was cool. And then in the main event, we have the New Day versus the Bar and Drew McIntyre. And it's McIntyre, but I say his name like an asshole. McIntyre. And that was a good match. You know, some good shots in there. I love Cesaro. I wish they would do some with him. Maybe they're going to break up him and Sheamus next week during the brand split. But ultimately, the New Day ends up winning when Kofi Kingston hit the Trouble in Paradise on Sheamus. And that's that. The show ended up with New Day clapping and dancing and celebrating again, which I will never, ever, 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 ever complain about. Because I love the New Day. And yeah, so this is a really good episode of SmackDown. It went by really fast. I love that they had Lars Sullivan come back. I love that Drew McIntyre showed up, and Braun, and Lacey Evans came back out to further her feud with Becky. And I don't think Lacey Evans will win that match. But I hope that she could put on a really good performance and kind of get the people behind her a bit, because Lacey Evans is good, man. She's not the best. She's still got a lot of work to do. You know, she's still pretty new. But for as new as she is, she's definitely not bad, and she's definitely, you know, knows how to work her character at the very least. So yeah, good episode of SmackDown. Kind of sad that WrestleMania is over, you know? It's like when the Super Bowl's over. Like, what do you do? You know, luckily there's no off season in wrestling. So, I'll always have stuff to watch. But, yeah, it's a good episode of SmackDown. Looking forward to NXT tonight. And going to do a review on that probably later tonight. So, with all that being said, folks, click like, subscribe, and enjoy your day, and peace.